Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Tor and VPN. Which one should you use? What are the pros and cons of each kind of technology? Let's go ahead and find out. Alright guys, so firstly we're going to be talking about VPN. So VPN is more like an application than Tor. Now Tor is kind of an application too, it's also a browser, but the way VPN works is that you're going to be putting it on your computer and pretty much all your internet connected stuff that's going on your computer is going to be encrypted and assigned a new IP. So it's going to tunnel all your internet through it. So it's very good for specific things like torrenting. Let's say if you want to torrent something, and you're using qBittorrent or whatever torrent kind of program you're using, as long as you have your VPN on, your IP is going to be protected and anonymous while torrenting stuff, so copyright trolls can't find out who you are. The normal way it happens is that if you don't use a VPN, your IP is public knowledge, since it works through peer-to-peer kind of technology and sharing. And when a copyright troll finds you in the torrent swarm or sees that you're downloading something and sees your IP in the application, they look up whose internet service provider it is. They send the internet service provider the IP, and the IP is registered at your internet service provider, and that's how you get an email from them saying this company contacted us, you downloaded something. With a VPN, that never really happens as long as you always have it connected. Not only that, but VPNs are also super useful for stuff like gaming services. Sometimes you can get early access to game services by connecting to your VPN and staying connected. You can also unblock geo-restricted content around the world, so it's really good for this. So basically what you'll do is turn on your VPN, load up your browser and connect to something, and as long as you have a VPN that works with streaming services, you'll be able to pretty much watch any kind of service you want in the world. I've organized my tier list by streaming compatibility, so if you're looking for a really good streaming VPN, you can find them there. Some popular options on the channel are probably going to be TorGuard VPN streaming bundle with code NETFLEX to give you 50% off, or something like ExpressVPN. Windscribe is also a popular option as well. The cool thing about VPN compared to Tor, VPN can be put on routers as well as a technology. So if you connect to a router and it has the VPN kind of installed on it, you're going to be able to access VPN Wi-Fi, which is really neat. Additionally, you can also put VPN on stuff like Fire Sticks, Android TV boxes to unblock geo restrictions on your TV, which is really neat. And I've shown tutorials on my channel on how to do that with stuff like Amazon Fire Sticks as well as PS4s, so that's really neat. Additionally, VPNs don't really affect your speed too much. Now you are going to get a little bit of a speed decrease since you're using encryption and you're but if you pick the right VPN, you're not going to lose too much speed. I've heard people getting between 80 to 90% of their speeds with stuff like TorGuard VPN, which is definitely possible as long as you pick a good server next to your location. So the cool thing is here is that VPNs won't really affect your browsing experience, whereas with Tor, it's going to be noticeably slower. Not only that, but you can also use VPN to watch good quality streams and stuff like that, since the speed's going to be good. Lastly, for VPNs can be useful in public Wi-Fi hotspots. Let's say you're at a public Wi-Fi cafe and you connect to the internet. Sometimes if someone has a packet sniffer installed, they could kind of see what you're doing, take your passwords, stuff like that if you're looking at unencrypted websites. But VPNs in public Wi-Fi is usually a good idea to use just to protect yourself from packet sniffers, or if you accidentally connect to a fake Wi-Fi hotspot, at least your internet will be encrypted and they won't be able to see what you're doing. Now, some cons for VPN is that it is paid. I wouldn't recommend using any free VPN provider. I only recommend using paid VPN providers, because paid VPN providers don't have as much incentive to sell your data because they're making money from your subscription. Another con with VPN providers is that they're not all trustworthy. It's case-by-case basis. Some VPNs are really trustworthy, some VPNs aren't trustworthy at all. So it's not like Tor, which is just one thing spread out across the world and no one really owns it. Each VPN kind of has a case-by-case basis with different kind of reputations, different things that you'll have to consider, so it's a little trickier to pick the right one. That's why I've created VPN tier lists to make it easy, however. Another thing about VPNs, I could argue that they're a little bit more complicated to set up than Tor, With Tor, all you're going to do is download the browser and start surfing pretty much. With VPN, you have to kind of sign up, buy a subscription, get your email credentials, download the app, log in, pick a server nearby, connect, maybe fiddle around with some settings. It's not too hard, but definitely a little bit more work than Tor. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of the pros and cons with Tor. So Tor is definitely the best browser that comes close to 100% anonymity. Basically what Tor is a browser that uses a series of nodes collected throughout the world, kind of volunteer basis. So you're not going to get the best speed since the volunteers that are hosting the nodes don't really have an incentive to give out good speeds, but this is going to make you pretty anonymous and hard to track down. And now another thing about Tor is that it's cool is that it doesn't really track your cookies or store cookies and stuff like that. And it's easy to just kind of install and get using it and feel pretty anonymous. You could even use stuff like Brave, which is a normal browser that has Tor integration with new tab Tor integration, which is very easy to start using Tor no matter when you want to. Now the thing to consider about Tor compared to VPN is that Tor doesn't necessarily completely anonymize you while surfing, since your traffic will eventually exit the node, and the node can be hacked or monitored. Now this isn't super likely, but it can happen, and it has happened in the past. So there are a couple things to get around this. You can either use VPN over Tor or Tor over VPN. VPN over Tor is the more common method that people do. It is going to end up giving trust to your VPN to not give away anything if something happens or you're caught doing something illegal. But if you have a no-log VPN, this shouldn't be too much of an issue, but there still has to be some trust in your VPN. This method requires you to first connect to your VPN service and then start up the Tor browser, and that's how you're going to do that. So that way, when you're leaving the exit node or you're getting out of Tor, the exit node, or your only IP that is showed is the VPN's IP. The second method, Tor over VPN, relies on your VPN having the method of connecting to Tor first, then VPN. However, this method is much slower since you're first connecting to Tor and using it that way, and VPN. So it's going to be slower. It might be a little bit more secure, but again, it's not as common. Not a lot of VPNs support this feature, and some of the ones that even do support this feature, I don't really trust them because they're not that good of VPNs. They don't have that good of reputations. Additionally, some people think that using Tor over VPN could provide the VPN with ways to see what you're doing on Tor, because they could specifically log you or do something like that, or get data that they're otherwise not supposed to be doing through this kind of methodology. I honestly recommend the first method because it's going to be faster and easier to use. So just connect to VPN before you're on Tor and you should be pretty good. Another thing you have to consider when using the Tor browser is that it doesn't collect cookies. So it's going to be a little bit annoying logging into websites every time, and you might have to deal with a lot of captchas and stuff like that because websites can't recognize you. Not only that, some websites actually won't let you view them since they can detect something going on your side of the browser. Since you're using Tor, some websites simply won't work, which is definitely a little bit annoying. Lastly, I did want to kind of mention again that Tor is pretty slow to use, and anyone who tells you otherwise is kind of lying. It's definitely manageable, but significantly slower than using VPN on your browser or using a proxy or something like that. It's definitely going to be slower. Alright guys, those are some of my thoughts about VPN and Tor. Both kind of have their own little use cases, and you can use VPN before using Tor, which is going to be really good for your anonymity. However, VPN also has specific use cases that Tor doesn't give you, although Tor itself doesn't have super unique use cases that VPN can benefit you with. The main kind of thing with Tor is that it's easy to use browser that's going to protect your anonymity by preventing some leaks and DNS leaks and stuff like that that can happen with some VPNs. Not only that, and it's not tracking cookies and stuff like that. However, if you pick a good VPN, a lot of these things aren't huge issues, so that's just my thoughts. Anyways guys, thanks for checking out this extended kind of analysis of both of these different kind of technologies, and leave me a comment down below if you have any questions about these two technologies or any suggestions for further videos. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you again on the next one. Tom Spark out.